Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and these are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. A St. Thomas woman is dead after a tragic accident. Two 16-year-old girls charged as adults in the boardwalk killing. And a tragedy in St. Lucia. Find out how you can ease the pain. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, two 16-year-old girls are now charged as adults in the infamous boardwalk killing that left another 16-year-old dead and 5 others injured. News Channel 8's Wes Small has that story and a message from the VIPD as well.
Thank you very much, Jerome. It's very quiet now on this beautiful, peaceful Christiansted boardwalk, but it was not like that at all on July 7th. July 7th, earlier this year, that's when we had chaos and carnage. Now, 2 female minors will face charges of first-degree murder. They were both bound over by the Superior Court of the Virgin Islands. Latifah Williams and Adelina Adams, both 16 years old, now charged with the July 7th stabbing that left a young girl here dead and 5 others severely wounded. Here's Melody Rames, VIPD spokesperson, with more.
2 female minors will face charges of murder in the first degree as adults after they were bound over by the Superior Court of the Virgin Islands. Latifah Williams and Adelina Adams, both 16 years old, are charged with the Friday, July 7th stabbing death of a 16-year-old female that occurred on the Christiansted boardwalk. 5 other females were stabbed multiple times during the assault. Williams and Adams were arrested immediately following the July stabbing and held at the Youth Rehabilitation Center in Estate Annis Hope. On Sunday, November 13th at about noon, the suspects were arrested as adults based on an arrest warrant issued by the Virgin Islands Superior Court Judge Darrell Donahue. Their bail was set at $1 million each, and they were transferred to the Golden Grove Adult Correctional Facility pending further court action.
Thank you, Melody. Like I said, 5 other females were stabbed multiple times during that attack. Now, 16-year-old Latifah Williams and Adelina Adams is under $1 million bail apiece as they were transferred to Golden Grove Correction Facility. And that's not all. I was just on the phone to Police Chief Chris Howell of St. Croix District, and he promises drastic changes on this boardwalk on a nightly and a weekend basis, and especially for the jump-ups like the one coming on November 25th, where he is promising tourists and also retailers here in this area and all of us that it will not be business as usual with the VIPD and how they patrol the Christiansted boardwalk. You know what that means. Mucho extra security right here. On the Christiansted boardwalk, 2 minors now charged as adults, $1 million bail each, and they're only 16. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. And in other news tonight, police need your help to identify a woman who was apparently hit by a car on St. Thomas. Unfortunately, she died, and the VIPD need your help to identify the woman. Here's police spokesperson Melody Rames with more.
Traffic Enforcement Bureau officers on St. Thomas are appealing to the community to help identify a female accident victim who died on Monday, November 14th after being struck by a car. The accident occurred shortly before 2 p.m. on Monday, November 14th on Crum Bay Road near Total Gas Station. The accident victim is described as having blonde hair, about 5 foot 2 inches tall with a slim build. She was wearing short blue jeans and a white tank top and white slippers. She was struck while she was crossing the street. When officers arrived on the scene, they observed the woman lying on her back in the roadway. She was transported to the Roy Lester Schneider Regional Medical Center by ambulance, where she was later pronounced dead. The Traffic Enforcement Commander, Sergeant Rosalind Jarvis, said the driver of the vehicle that struck the victim was at the scene when police arrived. The investigation into the accident is ongoing. Anyone who knows the victim or has any information regarding this case is urged to contact officers at 774-2211, extension 5514, or 5567, or you can call Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS.
And we want to thank Melody Raines for bringing us that information for us tonight. And you may recall in the Caribbean Report a couple of months back about a tragic bus accident that occurred on St. Lucia. That accident has left the country in mourning, but Virgin Islanders have stepped up to the plate, and News Channel 8's Wes Small finds out more.
Thank you very much, Jerome. By now, most of the world has heard of the tragedy that occurred in St. Lucia. I want to give our condolences from Channel 8, our staff, and our family. This reporter has been to St. Lucia for the Jazz Fest, and I have to tell you, I have nothing but love for my St. Lucian people. In case you don't know by now, it was a November 12th bus tragedy that we're starting to look at some pictures at now. Not only has it made Caribbean news, but worldwide news as well. That's when looks like we have lost now 18 people, as these people were coming from a funeral. Just sad news to report. Well, now we are happy anyway. Some good has come out of this. As usual, we are asking you to give something. I am here with Mr. Simeon Cobb, who is a public relations officer for the mostly St. Lucian-based group, the Hellenites, and talking about the Crusaders nightclub, and also Frontline will be the venues for some events this weekend. Please tell us how we can get involved.
Thank you, Wes. Well, as we all know what has happened to that bus in St. Lucia, nevertheless, although I'm the PRO of the Hellenite Sports Club, in conjunction with Mr. Rebel, his group is More Light Production, we get together to help the people of St. Lucia in this disastrous situation. We would like everybody to come out and give a donation and to help those families down there that is actually helpless.
Yeah, Mr. Cobb, it's heart-wrenching as we watch the shot of that bus that you can't even tell it's a bus over that embankment over the cliff there, and a little girl was found alive. I don't know that update now, if she made it or not. I know one was missing. Most of these people, all related, came from the same village. It's just, and now we're going to bring it home even more. It even hits home on St. Croix, doesn't it, with one of your own. Tell us what happened. Looks like he lost his sister.
Well, actually, we have a member who used to play for the club. And so his sister, who is pregnant, she passed away. Her husband passed away, and 5 others of the family. So it seemed like it was just a wipeout for that family.
How sad. She was pregnant, and then her father was there, and more of her family coming from already another tragedy from a funeral. And look what happened. And now I guess your fellow Hellenite is down in St. Lucia trying to put the pieces together.
Yes, well, we are trying our best to give support. And we'll also like the community to come out and give support. At least Saturday night is at the Crusaders Club, and Sunday it is by Scotty's Bar. We would like everybody to come out and give some assistance.
All right, Crusaders is 9 o'clock with a special guest DJ of your choosing. We're only getting your choice DJs and so forth. Doors open at 9, and that's at the Crusaders Club at 9 o'clock in Fredericksted. And we accept donations. In case you miss it, then the next day around 8 or 9 at Frontline at Scott's place and his family, then they'll be having something there as well. If you'd like to have some more information on how you can help with this horrible tragedy that has hit our brothers and sisters in St. Lucia with that bus accident, please don't hesitate to call, because today it could be them and tomorrow it could be us. 227-7483. 227-7483, or you could contact, everyone knows him as Rebel, at 514-1923. That's 514-1923. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And a St. Thomas police detective has been charged with domestic violence. Here's Melody Raines again with more on that.
Police on St. Thomas arrested Angela M. Trant on domestic violence charges. Trant is employed as a police officer with the Virgin Islands Police Department and assigned to the Criminal Investigation Bureau. She has been placed on leave without pay pending the outcome of the criminal case. According to the police report, on October 20th, Trant entered her ex-boyfriend's estate Anna's Retreat home and kicked in the bedroom door. Trant then threatened the victim's life, and during a physical altercation, she struck him in the eye with her keys, causing an injury. Assistant Police Commissioner Raymond L. Hyman said since the incident, Trant was relieved of her duties in the Criminal Investigation Bureau and assigned other duties pending the completion of an internal investigation. Trant was arrested at about 7 a.m. on November 12th and charged with aggravated assault and battery, domestic violence, assault third, and destruction of property. The court released the officer on her own recognizance pending further action by the court.
And we want to thank Melody Rames for that information tonight. And the governor has a health reform task force in our community doing research. Let's take a look.
What's going to be the deciding factor to determine what the definition of a small group is or how many individuals can be covered? That's the beauty about the exchange process. As a territory, we can set those limits. That's within the flexibility that the federal government is offering to us. So if we wanted a small group only to cover 0 through 25 employees, we could set it at that. If we wanted it to cover 0 through 100, we could set it at that. You know, it's all within our purview, and it's all the flexibility and the options that we have. It's under our control, especially if we select the local exchange establishment option.
We're actually exploring and getting information in terms of the pros and cons, and especially with the exchange program. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago we met with some of the other state insurance commissioners, and they're going through the same thing. The smaller states are looking for exchange connection, Puerto Rico, not joining with Puerto Rico, but they're looking to join other states also. But the key to the whole thing tonight is to gather information from the community and spread the word.
Correct.
A small group tonight, if you talk to your family members, your business contractors, talk to other contractors, and let them know you attended a meeting. Like Nicole said, write the information down.
Yeah.
And we want to get as much information as possible.
Tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock at Gertrude's, we're meeting with members of the Hispanic community. We have the group Hispanos Unidos working with us. They helped us put that meeting together. So at 6 o'clock, we'll be at Gertrude's. That's Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we'll be at the Complex Auditorium at 6 to meet with the 18 through 24-year-olds. So they'll get a great presentation from Miss Wheatley. And then Thursday evening, we're meeting with the small business and the insurance community at the Curriculum Center at 6 o'clock. And then Friday morning, we're meeting at the Wang Louis Hospital for their medical staff meeting. That's a closed meeting just for the medical providers at Wang Louis. And then Friday evening at 6 p.m., we have an open session for private physicians, medical providers, their office staff. We'll be meeting at the Cardiac Center. And so for every night this week, we have separate meetings that are set aside.
And we want to thank Earl Morris for bringing us that footage tonight. And when we come back from this break, an AIDS orphanage. We'll tell you more about it after the break. And let's take a look at your Caribbean report for tonight. In your Caribbean report tonight, we start in St. Kitts and Nevis, where Lemuel Pemberton of Nevis has been named mentor for the Federation to the assistant of groups that need funding to conduct environmental projects through the Caribbean National Resource Institute, known as Canary, and the MacArthur Foundation. The mentorship workshop took place in St. Vincent and the Grenadines from October 24th to the 28th, with 20 mentors representing 11 territories. Canary has given small grants to community-based organizations that are trying to develop sustainable livelihoods based on the use of forest resources. Pemberton said the purpose of the mentors is to help any organization that has an interest or stake in promoting environmental projects. And turning to Barbados, where the Minister of Health, Donaville Innes, says it's time for legislative changes to allow teens under the age of 18 to get reproductive and other health care without their parents' permission. He will be meeting with the cabinet collectives soon and will begin that process. Innes disclosed yesterday that he will have a formal discussion with the Attorney General of the Ministry of Family, Culture, Sports, and Youth by January. And finally, in Jamaica, where a giant has passed. Leaders of government past and present were one in eulogizing veteran Jamaican politician David Corr, QC. who passed away yesterday at his home in the Dominican Republic. QC is the initial for Queen's Counsel, which is a very old title which will only be applied to lawyers who attained the status before the beginning of the 1980s. It is a term which has great respect within the legal profession. It is the highest level of professional recognition that a barrister can reach. Yesterday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, expressing his condolences to his wife and children of the departed statesman, said that the government of Jamaica was deeply saddened by the news of his passing. Core had relocated to the Spanish-speaking Caribbean country of the Dominican Republic because it was home to his current wife. David Core died of complications of pneumonia. He was 86 years of age. All through his life, Core was an ardent voice against colonial rule and had been a strong advocate for the establishment of a Caribbean Court of Justice. And that's your Caribbean Report for tonight. And an AIDS orphanage is being set up by some helpful Virgin Islanders in the country of Uganda. News Channel 8's Wes Small files this report.
Thank you very much, Jerome. We're in La Grande Princess for a very worthy cause. We're talking about the children of Uganda who are living with AIDS and an orphanage that's been set up there. I'm here with some dynamic people to my right. We're at the location of Doc Peterson Beach House, right in La Grande Princess here. And this is the venue then for a big fundraiser that is coming up this weekend. To my right is Miss Stacy Amos.
Yes.
And Stacy, you are part of this committee. And also to your right is Miss Barbara Osborne, who has been to the orphanage herself in Uganda. Also, Barry right there, who's going to explain his role. He's been doing a lot of the collecting and so forth. And also Miss Natalie Nelson Tanghao, world-renowned attorney right here for us. She's in on the cause, and she has visited the Uganda orphanage as well, so they will let you know firsthand what we're up against. All right, from noon to 6 o'clock then, November 20th, this Sunday.
That's
Thank
right,
you.
this Sunday.
Thank you, Stacy. Explain what this campaign is all about.
Aid Child is a wonderful organization. It's a refuge for children living with AIDS and have been abandoned by parents with AIDS and HIV. So imagine having something like that occur and you have no place to go. Well, Nathaniel Dunigan, who is here, has parents here on St. Croix, actually came up with the idea to say we needed to give them a place to stay. And so he built this in Uganda, where Barb and Natalie have been privileged to go. And so we decided to throw a fundraising event for them. And that's what we're doing Sunday, November 20th from 12 to 6 right here. There'll be a pig roast, a fish fry, chicken, desserts by Blue Water Terrace, even a Vienna cake by the Cake Man. Tickets are only $20. Your admission helps feed and clothe a child for 1 week. So all proceeds go to that. And just imagine your $20 helps make a difference in a child's life immediately.
All right, Barbara or Osborne, you have physically been to this orphanage.
I did.
And what did you experience?
I visited and saw 2 different facilities that are run very professionally. Happy, healthy children who have benefited from Nathaniel Dunigan and setting up this organization to feed, clothe, shelter, medication. They have nurses who look after them and house mothers who nurture them. And it's just a wonderful refuge for these cute little kiddos that are doing well. And if it wasn't for Nathaniel, they would have been on the streets and probably dead by now.
What is your part in this committee?
Okay, Wes, when I was told about the fundraising effort on this wonderful cause, it was almost impossible to say no. I really think that everybody should come out on Sunday from 12 to 6. Like the committee member said, it's going to be a lot of food, lots to drink. I mean, everybody come and have a good time. Now, I might even sit in with Bully and the Kafunas. I play a little.
Bust out the saxophone.
Bust out the saxophone,
God help us.
Well, I've done it before, so yeah, God help us, But at least I didn't come and see a potential disaster, but it probably won't be.
Please, Bully, get here early. Don't make Barry get the sax out. No, he could blow. You have been there physically as well to the Uganda orphanage. What do you have to say about this project?
Well, it's definitely worthwhile. It was a truly blessed experience. My family and I, Lincoln and my son TJ, had an opportunity to go to the orphanage in Uganda and just to see the little children and their faces, and knowing that Uganda has the highest rate of orphans in the world. Many of them lost their parents, both mom and dad, to AIDS, and you know how devastating it could be at any age to lose your parents. So to be able to help these children and know, their smiles are so addictive that you just can't say no.
To find out more information, then you could call 602-317-4027, 602-317-4027, or you could go online, www.aidchild.org. The 20th, right here, noon to 6 p.m.
And if you cannot make it to it, please, you can give an outright donation as well. Ticket outlets are Crucian Gold in Christiansted, Applause in Sunny Isle, and Turtles Deli in Frederickstead, or you can contact me directly.
Thank you very much. And Doc Peterson Beach House is right here, 109 H's in Harry, La Grande Princess, which is right next to the Hibiscus Beach Resort. Thanks all you folks, including Doc Peterson. All y'all have wings waiting for you in heaven. And La Grande Princess. All right. That's right. Give yourselves a round of applause. You should. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And when we come back from this break, the police still need your help in a missing persons case. We'll tell you about it after the break. And the VIPD still need your help in finding Akil Joseph. Akil has been missing for almost 3 weeks now. His family and the Virgin Islands Police Department are anxiously awaiting for his safe return. Akil Joseph is 26 years old and frequents the Montbijou area, also the Estate Glen area as well. Over the weekend, reports have been coming in that he's been seen in the La Valley area as well. If you see or know about Akil Joseph's whereabouts, please call 911 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS.